Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour. I'm joined as always remotely. God, we're never going to see each other again, but he's handsome, he's nice, he's lovable. Alexander Volz, say hello.
Hello. I dropped off some cookies to Mike the other day. That was the most interaction we've had in person.
That's not any kind of gag. He literally did, and they were delicious. Thank you so much, by the way. This is Every Album Ever.
And a few cans of chili while we're at it.
Some Hormel chili. Not kidding about that either. This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That is a new discography per episode. And today we are talking about
Neutral Milk Hotel. And this a warning, your speakers, your earbuds are not blown out. This music, this sounds like shit.
Alex, I'm gonna have to ask you to kindly to eat my asshole, because how dare you? This is gonna get rowdy. This is gonna be a rowdy episode.
Oh, I'm at Simon and Garfunkel levels, maybe beyond.
Beyond Simon and Garfunkel levels. Episode 8, he loses his shit and he's out of his fucking mind. Okay.
Do the plugs, then we'll have fun.
Okay, plugs. Please subscribe if you like us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating, review. Tell them that we're here. Spread the word. Tell a friend, or not any of those things if you don't want to help us. If you want to suggest an artist for us to complain about, bicker about, or disagree about, which you're probably going to see this episode, send all of that to everyalbumever@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find me at Pope Jesse Ventura for all things regarding the show, and at Panda Monkey, all things my personal music, and Alex
at Mother Puncture.
And there will be, surprisingly, a Spotify playlist of Neutral Milk Hotel at the end of it's there now, but at the end of the episode, or now, I don't fucking care. There is a playlist that we put together of all our favorite songs, probably only my favorite songs, whatever, but there should be a link in the description of wherever you're listening and watching, as well as everyalbumever.com, where there's playlists for all the, episodes. Also, a new sort of update on the show. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be posted a little bit on our Instagrams. We're going to be implementing a kind of a book club type deal where we'll let our community or fans know which artists we're going to be talking about ahead of time, so that when we record, you can send your emails, and you'll hear the things we're hearing. It's not just us ranting about our stupid fucking opinions. You'll have thoughts of your own. We'll read emails and discuss and yada yada yada. Follow us on Instagram if you want to know when we're going to be posting. Whatever one we're going to be recording soon. Okay, now that that's out of the way, Alex, you piece of shit. What problem do you have with this band? I have problems with this band. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fanboy, but you seem upset.
I thought things from Louisiana were supposed to be fun.
You're trying to say this isn't a fun band?
No, it's not fun.
It's okay. All right. Have you heard of them, or have you heard anything by them before? That's
the other thing. I've never listened to them before this. Mm-hmm. Seen that album cover. Never listened to it. I never said, "Hey, what's all the noise about this Tambourine Head album cover?"
Right. I did hear a lot of noise about it for many years, and I decided to give them a shot. Maybe a year and a half ago, or give or take. And I had thoughts that were very anti all the fans of this band. And I had very strong opinions going in, but I do like the band. And then they're like, a lot of their songs are like, it's almost cliche that they're so closely tied with my college experience. Like when I put on one of their albums, like, oh, I'm back in college and I feel all the things. It's super nostalgic. And I love it. And it makes me feel, joy and sadness and all kinds of things that are associated with youth, even though that was like a year ago. I'm not really young anymore, but I still think, there's a lot to be had here. And I think even though Alex, I fucking know this is not your band. This is not your band, Alex. This is folky. So tell us what you have learned. Please tell me you did some research and you didn't just like piss on their name and you're like, fuck these guys and Jeff fucking Magnum, Little Dick Condom. I don't know. That's a stupid joke, but go on. Tell me something.
Look, I always do research. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to me, one more hyperbolic statement. He's up there with Mumford and Sons, Dave Matthews Band, and Father John Misty.
Go fuck yourself. How dare you?
As awful white people music.
Go fuck yourself. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
The same. Not that they sound the same. Sonically, they don't sound
not
anything
even
like
close.
those bands. Just awful white people music to me.
Okay, I think folk for sure is awful white people music, but this is way more interesting. It's so much more. It's not okay. It's not way. It's more interesting, not way more interesting. But go on before I keep getting heated.
Yeah. So, and I guess if I'm gonna go into the history, he's a weird dude who moved around a lot.
Jeff Magnum.
Yep. I think it's pronounced Magum.
Or actually, I didn't even look at the spelling of it. I'm gonna do that. Go on.
It's not pronounced like Magna. It's Mangum.
Mangum. Yeah.
So yeah, he just moved around a lot. From Louisiana, spent time Seattle, New York, Denver, all over the place. He's a weird fucking dude who he sleepwalks.
Oh wow.
He lucid dreams. He believes in ghosts.
That's not that weird. Come on, dude. You're just ragging the dude. We have friends that do all those things.
Not all in one person.
Yeah, all in one person.
Is it Bowers?
It is Mr. John Bowers. If he's listening right now,
John Bowers.
He does all those things.
Jeff Mangum.
He's Jeff Mangum without the talent.
Yeah,
but he's actually more talented in other ways than for sure. I would want to hang out with Jeff Mangum. But go on. Sorry, I keep jumping in.
He sounds like a sweet dude, actually, but he also sounds like he's this all over the place. And then, if people don't know, the dude is kind of a recluse, so he has like an air of mystery to him, and he's this very much in the way people kind of like to theorize about Tool stuff, the band Tool.
Right.
People like to talk about this guy's music and who is he and all this.
It's a very kind of sexy allure. This band has a lot of that. Like the fan base for this band is like weirdly dedicated. From what I know. Anyway.
Getting ahead a little bit, on our Nick Drake episode, we talked about how he got popular due to a kind of random assortment of things happening with the commercial and Napster.
That was episode 35, by the way. Go on.
And then with Neutral Milk Hotel, they kind of had a similar thing happen where internet forums were getting popular, and so they were a very popular thing to talk about on internet forums.
Interesting. So this is they have a pretty short discography. We kind of threw some fat onto the discography for the sake of thoroughness, I guess. So they only released 2 full-length albums, but we're going to be talking about 2 albums and 2 EPs. First EP was 1995. Last EP was 2011, but they'd broken up. The last album was 1998. The last EP, which is Ferris Wheel on Fire, is like a combination of early songs written way earlier. I'm not sure when it was recorded, but it's like just kind of a tying up loose ends kind of EP. So do I want to jump into it?
Let's do it.
Let us do it. So we're going to start with the very first EP. This is, I gotta fucking do this correctly. Shit. 1995. Everything Is.
Who were you?
A member of KISS or a punk rocker.
Every year?
Just kind of funny. Yeah, I would dress up as a punk rocker.
Probably should have skipped this intro.
So what'd you do when you became a punk rocker?
It's pretty short.
I went
Yeah.
trash bag.
I like fuzz on my music, but this is absurd.
You don't like this?
No.
I love that guitar tone. It's so buzzy. I'll tell you one thing I don't like, though. His fucking voice right now. but I'll stop talking over it.
Sing a song with jelly jars and bird calls. As night falls into dusk, it's sticky. Not afraid of an upgrade in my daydream.
So as you can hear, it's real garagey, fairly upbeat, pretty basic. Vocals are the most insecure vocals I've ever heard. This dude is afraid to use his voice. He's like holding back, and he's pronouncing the words so fucking weird. Around here.
Just a few hairs away from pop punk.
Yeah.
Pop punk vocals.
For sure. So, what do you got to say, Alex? Spill it.
I think this is worse. It was really hard.
Fucking hate you. I knew you were gonna say it was worse. I disagree. 1,000% disagree.
It was real hard to divvy up worst and best on this one for me. I tried my best, but yeah, I don't know. I like the opposite. I don't mind his vocals when they're restrained. Not that there's anything special about them, but they don't bother me. And then it's just like, man, I'm going to use the word blown out 100 times on this episode. It sounds like music when you're outside of the venue or the club.
I just turned the light. I think the vocals on this EP are the worst I think he's ever been by so much. The worst by so much. It sounds, first of all, it's mixed like garbage. It's clearly a demo or a demo type recording because the vocals sound like they were recorded in a closet and they're mixed right in the front with no kind of effects or reverb. It's like super home recording amateur type move.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that, but it just sounds that way. So it's didn't hide it very well.
But it's not like awful for a home recording.
No,
you could tell. Like, yeah, it's just a 4-track. So
yeah, and I definitely see how one would call this worst, but this is how you and I have different definitions of what bad is, because this, like, I get it, but also it's the most interesting release they've ever put out. Like, in terms of just weirdness and experimental shit and creepiness, it is up there. It's really I have to address it. And Egma Blowtorch, which is 1,000% experimental. It's makes me uncomfortable. Like, I like that it makes me uncomfortable though. It's like children talking and bird sounds, accordions, waves, just a bunch of weird mishmash, like a sound collage. It's not a song, but it's just unusual, and I like that. Especially in the context of all this folky shit.
I'm gonna say a lot of blasphemous shit on this episode. So I don't really give it like whatever your bet, or no, you didn't give it anything.
No, it's not giving my best. No.
Yeah. So yeah, the main reason I gave this worse is just because on Egma, Egma's. It's
because of that. Because the most interesting track on here, that's why you give it worse. You suck, Alex. But the thing is that the rest of them, I guess it's garage rock. I don't really like garage rock typically, but you hate it, but I like that guitar tone. It's buzzy and weird, and it sounds like it's breaking. Everything about this EP sounds like it's breaking.
My favorite song on here was Snow Song Part 1. I
had a feeling you would kind of be okay with that one.
Why are you thinking about me when you're?
I'm thinking. Hey, dude, you brought me cookies. I only think about you now. That one, Snow Song Part 1. It's like, slow, quiet, drony, but once again, the way he's pronouncing words, it fucking bothers me. It's like this weird accent that's like fake. It's like a fake accent.
I just didn't get hung up on his vocals until later. So
it's interesting. And it's one more last dig at his vocals. It's not even a dig. On Tuesday Moon, he sounds, this is going to be the most random pull. This band, Thinking Fellows Union Local 282. I'm assuming you haven't heard of them.
No.
Because no one fucking has. I swear, dude, if anybody listening to this has heard of that band, email me because I want to be friends. Because no one's ever heard of this fucking band. They're a fantastic band. And they have 3 guitarists and 3 vocalists. And like some of them play banjo and fucking other random instrument. It's like a really, really interesting band. One of the vocals, you could say it was the guy from that band on Tuesday Moon, and I would believe you. That's how identical he sounds to him.
Shit.
But it's more interesting than good, I would say. I don't think people who like pleasant music should ever listen to this. Like,
no, they should not. And it's so different from what he would become. We didn't really talk about that he's basically the, we got a Tame Impala situation here where it's really just one dude and a revolving door of people. I don't know who the fuck they are. They come in and out and.
Yeah. He's Jeff Mangum is Neutral Milk Hotel. It's really just him. But, I still think this EP is like, I almost gave it worse, but then, I realized just what I hated more about this band. And there's a lot that I hate about this band. I could really hate a lot of this band. I'm not a full on Alex hater at this point. All right. But, interesting. Her and his production, cool sounds. Take that information and do with it what you will. Let us move on.
You know what? What will make my comments even like more blasphemous is I enjoy the Flaming Lips, and I feel like in an alternative universe, Neutral Milk Hotel is the Flaming Lips.
They're worse Flaming Lips for sure. I like the Flaming Lips. I think they're a good band, and also I don't see that big of a difference in terms of why would people be into this band but not Flaming Lips? Like, what does this band offer that this doesn't feel like a very unique band. Like, it doesn't feel like they're offering all kinds of shit that you can't get elsewhere. That's why I'm confused by their success.
I'm going to wait till we get into the album. Okay. I mean, we're pretty much here for one album, but it'll be fun to talk. I disagree entirely,
but let us move on to the first actual album. This is of course I didn't pull it up. Jesus. 1996 on Avery Island. Huh?
Perfect. Like as far as the length of it and stuff and where you ended, it was exactly perfect. I just gotta have the talking intro.
Hell yeah. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's authentic.
And the first one saw a picture of a dead and hanging man who was kissing foreign fishes that flew right out from his hand. And when I put my arms around,
this is so dancey. I want to grab a girl wearing a 1950s skirt and start doing it, twirling her.
I fucking hate this song.
Eat my asshole. I fucking love this song. I want to leave it on extra long to piss off Alex.
Dude. And like his explanation for it is just like, you're such a wiener.
And I really do dig that production and how messy it is, but that bass is kind of holding it in place. Got some trumpets in there.
Yeah, you get a little taste of what they would turn into.
So, best album, personal favorite by a million miles.
So, even though I said that was a garbage song, personal favorite.
Yeah, this is the only thing I think is really good about this band, this album.
I'm really confused why no one talks about this album.
I don't get it. It's for sure the best. Like,
it's not as experimental or out there as the next album.
I think it's more so. I think it's way more so. Or at least the way it's done is better.
So, song against sex.
Yeah, Song Against Sex. Yeah.
So he said, I've known a lot of people that have been heavily damaged by some asshole's drunken hard-on, and the stuff upsets me. It's not against sex itself. This sounds like some dude who wasn't getting any and had a crush on every girl he knew and was upset they wouldn't sleep with him.
I don't know. It sounds like Alex may be internalizing some of this stuff, maybe projecting a little bit of his own feelings.
Maybe projecting. I may be projecting.
Yeah, the good name of Jeff Mangum. All right. I don't know, dude.
I wrote these lyrics, gave them to Jeff Mangum so I could self-project on a podcast.
Bash him later on.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. 5 years later. I love that song. That's this whole album takes me back to college for sure, but that song especially because I don't know, it puts me in a good mood. So I do have some bias nostalgia wise, but when I first heard this band, I listened to the two albums the way anyone would, and this was so clearly better. This was so clearly the best album that I'm so baffled that people rave about the next one. Like everything on here feels kind of original, and that's a stretch to say this band is original because this is the gimmick, essentially. What I feel the gimmicks for this band is, it is when first above everything else, weird, interesting production, throwing in instruments and distorted noises and siren type things happening, and then you get the most basic poppy 4 chords you possibly can. Maybe 4 chords you've heard a gajillion fucking times that are not at all interesting or unique, and then you throw a very, very hooky vocal melody on top of it. So those 3 things together is this band, I feel like.
Yeah, I will say I do think he's a very talented lyricist. I just don't like the way they are projected or what the songs are about. But yeah, just even a song I hate, I could look at those lyrics and be like, he really does have a way with words.
I don't give a fuck about his words, dude. But I do.
I know you don't. You never do.
Never do. But I do appreciate it. You can pick it up a little bit, even if you don't care about him. Like I don't. Yeah, no, he's a good writer. But the songs themselves, like, it's really just the most basic chord changes in the world. But he throws some good hooks on top of it, which is. I guess in that sense, I get why people gravitate to it so easily, but also it's not the most deep thing. Like, even though the production is very interesting, you get over it. Like, it's not, you can't really dissect, what's happening musically.
Mm-hmm. I will also say, I feel like Doom and Gloom kind of works more in the band's favor than anything remotely happy.
Really?
Because yeah, like some of the songs I would, listen to if I had to. You've Passed.
Yep.
And April 8th. Mm-hmm. And Three Peaches, and those are all very, very, very dark songs.
One thing I like all 3 of those, but Three Peaches, I think it's a good song, but it's paced perfectly in the album. It comes in right after Garden Head, Leave Me Alone. I believe so. Yeah, and that the Garden Head is like super. It's got drums. It's poppy. It's got way more of the happy, feely kind of shit going on. Three Peaches comes in right at the perfect time to just depress the shit out of you.
And then that song is about. I think he's married, but it's weird. He said his girlfriend that he was with at the time, that's the only girlfriend he's ever cared for, or like truly had feelings for.
Interesting.
But she was suicidal, and she tried to commit suicide at a party, and that's what this song is about. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, in 2005, she did end up taking her life. So this is like real heavy stuff here.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, even without knowing that, the song is still pretty haunting.
It absolutely is. That's that's super depressing. A lot of this really does like strike chords and make me feel just awful, but not in like a Joy Division kind of way where I want to kill myself. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a very melancholy album, even though there's a lot of it that's really poppy and upbeat stuff. You've Passed blends seamlessly into Someone Is Waiting. And
I didn't even realize they were two different songs on the first listen.
Yeah. So that's how together they basically recorded at the same time. But there's a part because the end of Someone Is Waiting, it gets a little experimental, and I'm going to put on a minute 40 of that if I can actually pull it up. I'm doing this on my computer instead of my phone, so I'm going to be way slower. Shit. Bear with me, please. Here we go. That's a really creepy.
Yeah.
So good. And it comes after this really, really sing-alongable poppy type thing. So it just kind of feels like it's deteriorating. It's very nice. So it does that. It does that for a while. However, I can definitely see gripes because Someone Is Waiting is also the exact same song as A Baby for Pre, which is also the exact same song as Where You'll Find Me Now. There's 3 of the same song, just performed with different instruments.
Yeah, he's called them like twin songs.
Or triplet songs, because there's fucking 3 of them. Like,
yeah.
It's like, it's a little, I would say by the time Where You'll Find Me Now, it kind of immediately crosses into self-indulgent territory, which I think this guy does a lot as time goes on. Because I think all 3 of those would make one really good beefy song, a really deep. Sure. Yeah, but he had to separate it over 3 fucking songs where we know where it's going, we know what's happening. I do get it from like a concept album type standpoint, because, for example, the trumpet on Avery Island, April 1st, which I do like a lot. It returns on Garden Head, Leave Me Alone, which is like, I like that, where it takes one element from one song and it brings it to a completely different context. It's very movie score kind of stuff. But for just playing the same song 3 times on one album, like, I don't know. I like the song. I like all of them a lot, but even then, like, it's, ugh.
You know, this long as I don't have to listen to Priest Sisters swallowing a donkey's eye, because there's some cool shit in there. But 13 minutes. It's 13 minutes though. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
13 minutes. And it's funny because at the time of this recording, we just released the Kraftwerk episode where it's had fucking 20-minute songs. But we're complaining about 13 minutes because, well, not all 13-minute songs are created equally. A lot of this is nothing. A lot of this is nothing happening.
Yep.
But it has some moments, and I'm going to put on one of those moments right now, and I think it is 3 minutes 25 seconds in.
Good spooky stuff.
Hell yeah, right here.
Like, if this was in a horror movie, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. And the way it takes 3 minutes to build up to this, it does have more of an impact. It's a cool.
This doesn't need to be 13 minutes long.
Yeah, this is 3 minutes in. Like, you could drift this off after another minute and a half or 2 minutes or whatever. But it goes on for another fucking 10. Man, I really do like this though. Yeah. I actually have a lot to say about this album. I really like this album. Like, I had a good, like, I didn't need to listen to this twice because I'm so familiar with it, and I had like a whole page of notes from one listen. I went back and listened just because I wanted to. That's how much I really like this album. I think the intro to Naomi is perfect. It is one of the most beautiful fucking things ever. The rest of the song isn't as good, but I still like it a lot.
Which again is weird that he's saying he only had like feelings for one girlfriend, because he sounds like he's very much in love with this girl and Naomi. Mm-hmm. And for music nerds, he's talking about Naomi Yang of Galaxy 500.
Who is that and who is she?
Galaxy 500 is a cool cool band that maybe we'll get to talk about one day, and she's the bass player in that band.
Interesting. That's so uncomfortable. This fucking nerdy dude just writing a song with your fucking first name in the title.
Well, it's super creepy too, because similar to the Pixies' Cactus, he's talking about like owning a dress she owns.
Yeah.
But she made like a little, I don't know if it's on YouTube, but she made like a music video of her lip syncing it with some imagery. Interesting.
So she's not completely turned off by it, which is that's good.
Yep.
It's good for him, and also
it's
restraining orders. Good.
It's so weird the way people talk about this band, and because he's such a recluse, sometimes I was listening to it thinking he had like died.
Oh, really? They just haven't seen him. He's not dead.
Yeah, I know he's not. I know he's not. But like that story of her doing the music video, lip syncing. It sounds like, oh, well, he's dead. He's passed away. What a nice
yeah,
tribute to. But he's still alive. He's fine.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, what is he doing nowadays? Is he even doing anything?
They reunited in like 2014, 2015, and then this called it quits, and he just makes sporadic appearances with usually artists associated with the label and kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like the collective he helped make. I believe they're called Elephant Six.
Elephant Six, yeah. Yeah, there's like a bunch of really interesting bands associated with them.
So if you follow those artists and the people associated with that, maybe you'll see them live.
Interesting. But I have a friend who recently turned me on to a lot of those bands. They're interesting shit, like really wacky bands. A lot of cool stuff going on there. But other than that, I don't know much. This is, I think, extremely accessible. This entire album, it is not revolutionary, but it is beautiful in a lot of parts. Hooky as shit. Like those, like I said before, like basic ass generic 4 chords that you've heard a million times, but he has great vocal lines and his voice sounds infinitely better than the first EP. From this point on, he's going to sound just like this, except I think here he sounds the absolute best because he doesn't fucking push it. Like later on, he pushes it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Here, it's subdued enough. It sounds very clean and natural. He's not straining. It's very authentic. This entire thing sounds really authentic. It's fucking lovely. I love this album a lot. Best personal favorite. Alex's personal favorite. We might fight further along this in the rest of this episode, but what the fuck else is new? Let's move on. We are now, where's my volume at?
This what you're all here for, I guess.
I know. Okay, so I'm slowly doing this. Slowly, I'm almost there. Here we go. 1998, the one they're known for. Here we go. In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. That is it. Double tracking vocals right there. Already don't like
Is that why it sounds so obnoxious? I thought it was just because he was kind of like yelling it now.
No, it sounds like how it's kind of like a chorus effect?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually either double tracking vocals or like a slight delay. It's like Ozzy. Ozzy always sounds that way. Early Metallica sounded that way. Double tracking. I think it sounds awful. I hate that. One thing we didn't mention about this band, because we didn't put too many clips of their actual songs, melodica all over the place. They're a melodica band. Hey, Alex, answer me this real quick before we talk too deeply about this album. Who's ever gotten laid playing the melodica?
Whoever played the melodica on this album probably got laid a lot post 2005.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct, because this album
only this person.
This album sure blew up. By the way, least favorite.
So I'm going to do something unprecedented that may or may not make sense. I'm going to give it best, also least favorite.
You beat me to it. And you know what's fucking so funny about that? Like, I almost did that with Sublime episode, what is it, 32 or something. I forgot what, 36. I almost gave like one of the albums worst and personal favorite. So this is your least favorite, but best.
I can admit that there is some weird, strange shit going on here.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much an album out of space and time. Like, what else do you compare this to in 1998?
I don't know. I don't fucking listen to this folky bullshit. I have no idea, dude.
But then there's this, it rubs me the wrong way. Like, the fact that it's a concept album about Anne Frank,
I didn't
also
even know
tarot
that.
cards.
Didn't know
Also, like tarot cards, maybe. I don't know. I just want to listen to Angel of Death for 40 minutes straight after this.
the production. Oh no, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to, but I get the fascination with it, and as eye rolling as being an adult writing a concept album about Anne Frank is, there's also something endearing about it because he's honest about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's a lot of moments on this album where it feels really genuine, like he's really earnest. I get why people like this album. Okay, I get why they like it. I don't get why they prefer it to the one before it, because that one I think is superior in every single possible way. This is sappy, dramatic, over the top bullshit, acoustic, way too much acoustic, way too much folksy. Like everything about it is very self-indulgent. It's hard to defend a lot of these folky songs.
I think the attraction is the internet forums about it. Like, there's a theory that he went back in time and saved Anne Frank and brought her to present time. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it's silly bullshit like that people like to do with this album, mm-hmm. that you can't really do with the previous ones. So
I guess
it's kind of taken on a second, mm-hmm. like meaning, because when this came out, it did get lukewarm reception and did not sell that well. And I really think it's bullshit. Usually if a publication or website retroactively gives an album a better rating, it's been like 30 years or something. Like Rolling Stone and Pitchfork retroactively corrected their ratings 10 years after.
Oh, isn't that convenient?
No, you guys dug your grave.
Yeah.
Fucking stay in it.
I don't know how people trust them and not us. You know, we're the real hard hitting. We're gonna kill each other before we say something that isn't true to what we really feel.
Look, I don't have, issues with it. I get that criticism is art is very much in the eye of the beholder, mm-hmm. and we get people disagree with us, and it's fine. So yeah, I get what criticism is. I don't have any beef against it. I just think in this particular instance, when your publications were around and you're supposed to be in the know, you're supposed to be trendsetters.
Yeah.
To just like
not 180 even like that. Yeah.
Yeah. 10 years. Like that's not really
that means
a lot
nothing.
of time.
It literally is spitting on your own reputation by doing that. Like it means nothing. It's just the opinion of one person. It really means jack shit. But it's not the worst. I used to think it was the worst because I used to only hear I'd only heard the two albums. But compared to the other one, it's like the writing has deteriorated so badly. So what I was saying before, where this band is just 4 chords. On this album, it's 2 chords. Most songs are fucking 2 chords. You've heard a million times, but it's like,
I think
it's the vocal hooks that make the songs interesting. Here, the vocal hooks have also suffered.
I think on this album, it is the musicians that I didn't write anyone's name down. It is those people who really elevated this.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like on Avery Island, there's kind of like one mode, 1 BPM. At least on here, it fluctuates.
The way it fluctuates, though, I think is unforgivable, such as throwing in a absurdly long folk acoustic dramatic waily song every other song.
Oh, every other song.
Every other song.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go in order.
Okay. So if we're gonna go in order, they might as well start at the beginning. We talked a little bit about the intro, and like it's a fine. It's like it sounds like them. I don't think it's anything. I don't know if you have anything to add, but
no. That on parts 2 and 3, it's like, okay, now we're getting more music. It's more of a band thing.
It gets like
trumpets
kind of punky at the halfway mark.
Yeah, it picks up on parts 2 and 3. The title track is when the lyrics started or not the lyrics, the vocal performance really was like nails on. Yeah.
Okay, so this is funny because I was about to kick my own self in the ass by saying the title track has the most generic 4 chords I've ever heard, but the vocal lines are so gorgeous. It gives me goosebumps. I fucking love it. We're going to put it on right now.
Damn. That track, I hate when he goes all out, when he goes to 10.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Fucking hate it.
This is the title track. It doesn't get more kumbaya than that fucking guitar.
What a beautiful face I have found in this place.
And also the bass line I think is really solid in the song.
Around the sun. What a beautiful dream that could flash on the screen in a blink of an eye.
It's so like summertime,
soft and sweet.
thinking about your love.
That part.
And keep it here with me.
I like it. I like those lines a lot.
If I was at a party or a beach bonfire thing and someone was like playing that, I'd wanna beat them up.
So I have a question for you then. What do you think about the vocals on Two-Headed Boy, the first one?
I hate it. I put white people. How do you explain this song? You can't explain this song.
I like the song, actually. I don't think it's an amazing song, but his vocals is one of the things I do like, not because they sound good. They don't sound good. And they're even mixed in a way where it's like peaking. That's like, I guess maybe it's on purpose. Everything about this band is kind of distorted, but it just feels like honest and that he's got no idea what he's doing and it's really moving and raw. I get how that resonates with people, for sure. I think that's the best of all the acoustic songs because the rest of them I fucking do not like. And they go on for a while.
There's one song that I hated at first. Then I'm going in order though. So let's do Communist Daughter.
Well, also I noted Holland 1945 as being awful. It sounds like every other Neutral Milk Hotel song except it blows. It's just like what I was saying, like when you're missing the vocal hooks, this band has nothing. It just has interesting production.
Not much left.
Yeah. But Communist Daughter, I also hate it. Sorry.
If someone wants to sing Semen Stains the Mountaintops dead serious without any sense of sarcasm, I guess this is America. He can do that. So
wait, what?
More power to him.
Which part was the lyric?
He sings Semen Stains the Mountaintops multiple times.
Interesting. That is beautiful, Alex.
It is beautiful.
I'm sold. Best album.
And yeah, it's
such an awkward silence.
People consider it high. It's because the next song is so much more jizzy. And I went through this period of I hated it. I'm talking about O Comely.
Oh God.
More like O-C-U-M-Ly. Am I right?
Is that what
Am I right?
Is that what the reference is?
There's so much jizz and cum in this song. It's fucking hilarious. And
what? Because this is the most self-indulgent, overly dramatic, stupid 8-minute fucking horseshit on the album.
I don't know what happened. I'm not going to defend it. I love this song now. On the second listen, this may be one of the few songs that I'll come back to.
Really?
And I think this because I wrote this fucking, like, man, there's so much jizz and cum. Like, he does, and also he brings up something near and dear to my heart on this song. Because he says, what does he say? When he's talking about walking through the garden, he says, smelling of semen all under the garden. So it's cum trees. And if you don't know what cum trees are, you're a fucking liar.
No, yeah, we know. The trees that smell like semen. Yeah, that's a real thing.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
And people are just going to gaslight me like they don't know what they are.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about? I don't know what that smells like. You know what it fucking smells like.
Absolutely know what it smells like. Absolutely. If we've all smelled it, we know. All right, it's okay. Just be honest.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he put that in the forefront of the song. He also says, moving your mouth to pull out all my miracles aimed at me. So I guess if you blow your load in someone's mouth, it's their property now. Is that what we're getting at here?
Well, possession is 9/10 of the law, Alex.
He says your miracles, but if it's coming out of her mouth, I assumed he put it in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I don't even fucking like the song, let alone all the disgusting imagery that's going along with it. Holy God.
After this song, I was kind of dreading this, but I was like, thank you, O Comely. I can talk about ridiculous things. Also, R.I.P. Anne Frank. This jizz-filled anthem is for you.
Oh my God, this is a disgrace. Okay, I get that. That's a funny fucking song.
Hashtag never forget. But outside of all that, I don't know why. I went from hatred. If it's like what's it called when you're trapped with someone and then you develop
Stockholm syndrome?
An affinity. I think I developed Stockholm syndrome with this song.
Maybe that's a lot of this band. Because how do you excuse the 8-minute length? It's just the same 2 minor chords for 8 minutes. And then the outro is so self-important. It's so dramatic. And it's like, how can I possibly take this so seriously? It's clearly...
You can't take it seriously because of what I was talking about.
And now I have to go back and listen to it with these jizz covered filters just to figure out what the hell is actually happening in the. Oh my God.
Yeah. People at home, please listen to this song with the lyrics. It's a revelation.
I fucked up. Maybe it is the best album. Well, okay.
Then we get to Ghost.
Hate it. Hate that song. It's like,
because
it's not awful, but go on.
Yeah, he actually thought he lived in a house with a ghost that also lived inside his body that may or may not be Anne Frank.
Well, who else would it be, Alex?
Well, when I don't even know how old he was when he recorded this, but when you're a grown man and you've just read about the diary of Anne Frank and it made you cry for 3 days, get the fuck out of here.
Hey man, I didn't read it in high school. What if I read it now and I'm like, oh shit, this is super sad. Did you guys hear about this? Would you make fun of me then? Would you make fun of me, Alex?
If you filled it with jizz-filled anthems, I totally would.
Oh, then you're not invited to my listening party for my new concept album. But Ghost, I don't think is a terrible song. It's just really generic and predictable, like a lot of this, for the most part.
The other thing that rubbed me the wrong way with Ghosts is we talked about song against sex, and on Ghost, there's a lot of verbiage about innocence and purity and, girls' virginity. And I'm like, dude, people fuck. Get over it, man. Like,
once again, Alex projecting onto this poor young man who just wants love.
Don't put the pussy on a pedestal. That's all I'm saying.
That is actually very true. Words to live by. Absolutely. The final track, Two-Headed Boy Part 2. Long and boring. Surprising that I said that. I don't know. I feel like it's long and boring. And I only like the outro because it reuses the riff from the first Two-Headed Boy, which I actually did like.
I thought it was funny last week. You didn't like that Eric B and Rakim would bring back like the worst elements or what you thought were the worst elements at the end of their albums quite a few times.
Right.
And I thought of that with Two-Headed Boy Part 2 because that was like the song I was least interested in. And
right.
I'm like, oh, he's pulling an Eric B and Rakim here.
Well, at least it's like just an outro and not a whole instrumental track of fucking hilariously Casio sounding keyboards. Although I would obviously listen to Eric B and Rakim over this, but this has nothing to do with this. That was last week's episode. But
I know. I just thought of the
parallel.
Funny.
Yeah. I am glad that he doesn't go full on Whaler in Two-Headed Boy Part 2, or does he? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's more subdued.
Yeah. He doesn't go fucking 10 on too many tracks, but it's just, I don't know, like it feels so normal sounding and doable and very folk. And I know you don't, but I don't like folksy stuff to begin with. And my counter argument to this entire album is if you want something emotional, moving, and folk, like listen to Nick Drake. Like we did a whole episode on it and it's beautiful from beginning to end, like, but intricate and elaborate and very musical and unpredictable. This is extremely predictable stuff. If you like folky stuff like this, Nick Drake is king. But people still really fucking love this album.
Yeah, it's so weird. On the second listen, I kind of get it, which is why I gave it best. Mm-hmm. I get the attraction to it, especially in a historical context of like Smash Mouth was huge in 1998. This is so far.
Sorry.
Shout out to Smash Mouth. They just
for staying
like
consistent. Yeah, hell yeah.
Staying consistent and being the Guy Fieri's of music, where they're nice dudes and they didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't do anything wrong. Also, fun fact for everyone listening: if you Google singer from Smash Mouth, photos of Guy Fieri will come out. Like a lot of them. I've tried this. It's fucking hilarious.
Have you ever seen them in the same room? I don't think so.
Don't think so.
They're the same guy.
Yeah, they both say "Welcome to Flavortown." Oh, it's all kinds of coincidences. But this. I keep glossing over, even though it's such a big, important part of this band, is the production. The production in this album is actually really fucking good. And
I think that's another reason people are attracted to it.
Again, it's not something that I would say is uncommon. You can find a lot of great albums with amazing production, with cool, crazy soundscapes happening all over it. But I guess it's like this juxtaposition with these super pretty, folky stuff and this distorted dissonance and... and like noise essentially, which is, I guess, people are not used to that. I mean, it's not common, to be completely fair. You don't hear too much crazy production with spacey sounds and fuzz on folk. It is pretty rare.
Yeah, on paper, psychedelic folk sounds like something that would be right up my alley, but it is not.
Well, I would say psychedelic folk would be up your alley, but this is not psychedelic folk. This is psychedelic elements, but mostly folk.
Yeah, and I think the whole concept album part of it also makes people feel like it's in that territory.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just feels self-indulgent to me. It's very cringy. This whole thing is like, especially when it gets all waily and it's super emotional. It's just, I want to do the jerk off motion. Like I just.
Oh yeah. It's, he may have been in his 20s again. I don't know how old he was, but yeah, it's pretty much an adult man singing about how he wishes he could go back in time to save Anne Frank. And it's just, this saying it makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
I also had a big meal before this. So,
fair enough. We've said all the horrible things we could possibly say about this album. However, I will defend the first one to the death. Not to the death, to the some
one
degree.
more thing. I think the trombones and the pipes and the circus instruments on Untitled, they make me laugh. It's pretty funny if you want a good chuckle.
I like the trombones and the trumpets and all this stuff. I like how they implement them. I don't think it's terribly musical, but I think it's just another cool texture. Like I put that along with production. It's just cool textures all over the place. Don't care for the writing, but we've shed on this album, this iconic, famous, beloved album. I think enough. We're gonna get shot for sure, but we have one more.
Don't sing about come all the time. Then that's my.
Don't you tell me what to do. That's my rebuttal to you again, Alex. I will sing about all the come I want. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah, this last EP is not streaming, by the way. So we got to go to YouTube, where I do have it queued.
Yeah, while you're queuing that up, they, like I said, the album sold modestly. It was not a big hit. They went on tour for it, and then he just disappeared.
Interesting. That's kind of sad. But here we are. This is a compilation EP full of a bunch of earlier songs, a few re-recorded songs from the first album. This came out in 2011. This is Ferris Wheel on Fire. That's real loud.
Oh, sister, don't be afraid of me. I won't be nailing you down in the nursery just like the
This sounds just like Neutral Milk Hotel.
all the wandering fingers of spit that were supposed to be glorious and fine. Oh, sister, won't you believe in me? I only wanted to be hard on the family here with you now in this silly infirmary.
This is like as folk as it gets, from modern folk as it gets. I don't hate this song though.
This album is just pretty much him and his guitar. There's one other song with I think some horns on it.
Yeah, there's some melodic on here too. All right. Well, shocking no one, worst. And this is a very easy worst for me.
I almost gave this worse.
This sucks, dude. I was angry at this one.
It's just kind of there, where the other ones they have more to say than this one. This is just like, oh my God, we need more Neutral Milk Hotel. So
The reason why I gave this worse is because it took everything I hated about in the Aeroplane Over the Sea and made the entire EP that. And it's like it's not a short EP. It's like 20 something minutes, 24 minutes. And it's all acoustic for the most part. It is his wailing that you hated so much is all over this damn thing. He is doing it. He's straining his goddamn voice on damn near every song. It's hard to sit through, man. And there's acoustic solo versions of April 8th and A Baby for Pre on Avery Island. And those versions,
Avery Island versions are way better though.
Way better. These ones are hard to sit through, like especially for A Baby for Pre. They're like his voice is like super nasally and quivery, and it's like he's doing all these weird extra flourishes that he clearly can't do because he's not like a great singer. So it just sounds odd and really ear piercing. I don't know what I could say nice about this EP other than like I like Engine a little bit, but
I think at this point I did my first listen. I listened to all these in one day. I don't know what it was. It was like, does this get better? And it doesn't.
He's got a very distinct style for sure.
So I would think at this point I'd be fed up, sick of it, but it just kind of, this went in one ear and out the other. And it's like, yeah, there's not when you take away all the bells and whistles of Aeroplane, this is what you're left with.
Yep, because there's no fancy production.
And I don't like it. Yeah, and I don't like it. It's boring.
It's extremely boring. There's no fun production stuff. There's no just weird distortion or crazy I don't even know what to call it. It's like there's like a layer of fuzz over every instrument on a lot of the past two albums. Everything is just an acoustic guitar now and him wailing. And the take me seriously, I'm emotional wailing is so goddamn cringy. I just fucking can't. I hate this kind of music so much. And I said, yeah.
If you saw someone doing it at like a house party or a bonfire, you'd be like, that dude needs to get beat the fuck up right now. Right now.
That's so harsh. But I agree. But see, unlike you, this wasn't one ear out the other kind of thing, because I do feel each of these releases is super distinct in my brain, because the first EP is this super strange experimental garage home recording, and then the first album I love, and then the second album I fucking hate, and then this one is just the second album but without the cool production. So I really hate this one. So like,
let me make myself a little clearer. The other three weren't in one ear out the other. Just this one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Didn't mean to be be right. I meant like by the time I had gotten to this, it was just that was it. But
okay, so jumping off of that, I have a question for you. Did you notice anything about My Dream Girl Don't Exist?
That it continues the weird trend of him and being creepy with women.
Oh, I have. Okay, I'm going to put that on for everyone. And if you all don't notice immediately, this is My Dream Girl Don't Exist. When I come around.
Yep.
Exact same chords, rhythm, everything.
I don't know if it's the same.
Exactly. Want me to put on the Green Day?
No. Not that. For some reason, I went Semisonic Closing Time.
Which one's that? Oh,
Closing time.
So that's similar. But I think those are still different chords. This is When I Come Around by Green Day, note for note. And this is why I think...
Although he might have beaten them to it, because I believe that this is material from 92, 95.
Maybe. Didn't Dookie come out in 92?
Huh?
Didn't Dookie come out in 92? Or was it 95?
I'm going to look that up. Yeah,
that's a good question. No, I should look it up right now, actually.
Green Day was more like 95 and after. You're right there.
So that's what I was going to make a point about that is, wait, hold on. Dookie came out in 94. But that's why I've said in the past, that is why you should be able to fucking copyright chord changes and bass lines, because you end up with that, which is the exact same song with just a different vocal line. It's complete garbage that you can have two identical songs, but someone different singing, and all of a sudden it's a different creative property. It doesn't make any sense. And I couldn't not hear Green Day when I was listening to that whole song, so I didn't even listen to it twice. Like I don't need to hear this. This is so damn generic, and that's most of this. Like again, like I was saying with the last album, just you've heard all these songs before, you've heard all these chords before, and it's just marginally different vocal lines, and these vocal lines are not hooky to me. I've repeated it, but I hate this. I hate this EP a lot. I'm not going to go back to this one.
Oh, I forgot. The only nice thing I have to say is the title track. I do like the visuals and the metaphors of how life is like being on a Ferris wheel gone astray, and you just don't have any control of it. You're just on a fucking Ferris wheel on fire that's plowing through the city.
I dig that.
That's the way that's just the way life's going to be. So that's the one nice thing I'll say about this.
That is depressingly accurate for life.
Yeah.
I do think the song is a 2-chord snooze fest. Is that's what I put in my notes.
Oh yeah.
Hate it. But I know for a fucking fact people love this guy because of his lyrics also, and I feel kind of like an asshole because I'm shitting on it so hard because I don't care about lyrics, and also I feel like I'm missing out because it's just not a thing that I pay attention to, and I probably would get something out of it. Maybe
you're not missing much.
Well, there it is, people. Alex said it.
I said it. Maybe he can do a comeback record about Lewis and Clark.
You hear that, Mr. Jeff Mangum? You could learn a thing or two about writing with that joke.
Hey,
Hey-o.
I'm here. If you need some more topics you should have learned about in elementary school or high school, I'm here. If you need inspiration for your next, if you ever want to record an album again.
Oh man, it's gonna be the.
I think that's part of the alert. What word am I trying to say?
Allure. Allure. Yeah. Just pretend there's 2 O's instead of a U.
Yeah, like that's it. This is it. There's no more, and it's kind of like nice to romanticize and fantasize. Like, ooh, what if he comes out with another album?
Yeah, it would just be more.
What would that sound like?
It would be more of this, honestly. Like, I think he peaked on Avery Alley. Wow. What did I just say? On Avery Island, holy God, is where he peaked, I believe. Man, I can't even use English.
I know, I got you messed up.
Everything since then has been just being him like getting more confident with longer folk songs. That's what it sounded like ever since the first album. Like he's clearly leaning more toward acoustic stuff, more toward really, really dramatic sounding whaley shit. And I don't know, man. People can like that shit, but I'm craving a lot more. Listen to Nick Drake, man. You want to cry? You want to cry and feel? Fuck, man. I'm going Nick Drake immediately after we're done recording. I'm listening to Nick Drake because I need a fucking break. But having said that, I still do love a lot of these songs. So it's like it's a weird thing where I think this is one of the most overrated bands in history, but I still like them a lot.
I just think they're overrated, and it's a very weird phenomenon of how they came to be.
Yeah. And also interesting, like how I think, like in Parks and Recreation, they bring him up. Fucking Aubrey Plaza's character, she brings up Neutral Milk Hotel, and it's like a talking point for a fight she has with Chris Pratt, like in one episode.
Oh man!
Like this band is like the reason they're fighting. It's like that's pretty big.
That's kind of funny because he's who I stole the comeback joke from.
Who?
Chris Pratt on one of the outtakes. They're trying to think of like a day to celebrate. And he's like, I think Amy Poehler's like, well, people like comeback stories like Rocky, and he's like, you mean like Kim Kardashian? And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, she had cum on her back. And it didn't make it in the episode, but it's an outtake. And Nick Offerman is fucking dead.
That's great. That's great. Oh, I love that. See, look at that. We're full circle. That's how the universe works. God damn it.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny that stole that joke from him, and then it's a talking point on the show.
Hell yeah. All right. God damn. Well, I'm pretty sure any fans we had are long gone because of how much we desecrated the grave of this beloved band.
See what I mean? You think he's dead, but he's still alive.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I knew.
Hey man, he just seems dead. You know, like Garfunkel. Man, look at that. That's another loop around. I thought Garfunkel was dead, by the way, until the end of that Simon and Garfunkel episode. I realized that he was still alive.
It's hard to get as heated over the video chat. Like,
yeah, it's not as real, but also. Like, I want to disagree, but I legitimately hate a lot of this band. Like, so it's like I'm not even entirely not on your side. I just really like a lot of stuff.
I think we have interesting dynamics where sometimes it's like we'll agree and then we get into the details of it and then we disagree. But then here it was like we disagreed, but the details we agreed about, if that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's odd. All right, let us recap. I will start because fucking I'm ready. All right, On Avery Island, 1996, best personal favorite. I really love this album. It is closely attached to a lot of my time in college. It's nostalgic. It's beautiful. It's very hooky, very fucking hooky. Super accessible. I recommend everyone start here and end here. In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, 1998, the most famous album of theirs, of course, is my least favorite because I'm an asshole, but also because I hate it and other reasons that we mentioned at length. 2011, Ferris Wheel on Fire, which is, not exactly canon, but still counts. Worst because it is boring and I don't like folk music. Alex.
Worst. Everything is personal favorite, On Avery Island. And then because I'm conflicted, confused, and an asshole, best and least favorite.
Beautiful.
And the Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Beautiful. If you like us for some reason after all that, please subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave a review, 5-star rating, tell a friend, spread the word, tell anyone you know that there are these two assholes who are shitting on things that everyone else loves and you want them to be heard more. Or you can leave all of that out and not say anything at all. But also you can suggest an artist you want us to complain about, bicker about, agree about, maybe even gush about, because we do actually like music, believe it or not. You can send all that to everyalbumever@gmail.com. Please follow Alex and me on Instagram to get updates on our new kind of update thing. So you can listen to the bands with us, fucking send emails, thoughts. So it's not just us talking at you or something. You can follow me at Pope Jesse Ventura for all things regarding the show, at Panda Monkey for music, and Alex
at Mother Puncture. And shout out to the dudes in the comments section that are going to say we don't understand the nuances of this band and it just went over our heads. We get it. We just don't give a shit.
We get it. And you know what I gotta say about that? Nick Drake. Better. Sorry. But it's not even the same. It doesn't even sound the same. I just keep saying that. But I do actually like this band. And you can check out the fucking playlist on Spotify that we put together. Should be a link in the description of wherever you're listening and watching, as well as everyalbumever.com, where we got playlists associated with every single goddamn episode. So without further ado, obviously I'm picking this last song because Alex has nothing but hatred in his heart for this poor, defenseless, soft Jeff Mangum.
Also, you don't want to give me last song.
No, I don't. You're going to put on O Comely, which I'm fucking definitely not going to do. Yeah. But what I will be putting on is something that is very moving to me personally. This is from, of course, the one album that I really like. This is Naomi. Thanks for listening, everybody. See ya.